Welcome to another edition of This Old Crackhouse. I'm your host, Angry Cops, AC for short. And today we have, another interesting development in what has become the Crackhouse. We're going to be taking out some old single-pane windows and putting in some new updated windows, and that's going to be fantastic. You get to see me sweating and throwing things around. And we also have story time. Because somebody keeps calling the city home inspector to come in, basically using the city to harass me and give me fine after fine after fine for the most minuscule of issues. I wish my neighbor would just call me up and tell me what they want me to do because they don't like whatever's happening, and then I would try to do it at my earliest convenience, and we could live amicably. But instead, one of my neighbors just keeps calling the inspector over stupid shit. Now, I called the city inspector that had sent me mail correspondence stating that I was in violation of all these different city ordinances and asked him to, get a little bit more time to try and correct some of these things, that the house was very much under construction. Nobody was living in it currently. This is a full rehab. And thankfully, he was very understanding and said, listen, you got to get rid of a bunch of trash in the front of the house, and then we can talk about giving you some more time for some of these other fixes. And I was like, absolutely, that sounds very reasonable. Thank you. These fixes that one of my neighbors is complaining about are trash along the side of the house, trash in the front of the house on the front porch, that after it snowed for 2 days, and then the snow melted away, that I didn't shovel the front walk. The snow was there for 2 days, and it was then gone. Anyway, what else? That there are rats running through the backyard. Okay. That the grass is too high. That there is siding missing from a portion of the house. And a couple other small things. Let's take a walk around the house. Let's take a walk. Oh, jeez, son. There you go. Let's take a walk around the house and look at some of the things that this person has been complaining about. We'll start with the backyard. They complained that there were rats running through the backyard. I mean, I can't prevent wildlife from going through the backyard of any place, but their main complaint was that there's rats in the backyard, and they stated because the grass is too tall. The last time this grass was mowed, it's December 15th today, was like late October. And then I think the one time before that was early September. So I've kept it under a foot. And right now, there's no issue. So that's irritating. 2, I came back here last night quickly to try and see if I couldn't remedy some of these situations because the inspector was so kind. He said, listen, if you quickly remove some of the trash, we can talk about extending this fine time, or this time where you can not get fined and fix the infractions. So I took a photo yesterday of the driveway and the trash that was blocking it. That was this eyesore. One of the pieces of trash was my step for the back. It was just overturned and moved so guys could get up and down easily. And then just tree branches. And why can't I have a pile of tree branches in my driveway? The other, which I kind of get, is the trash up here on my front porch. Now, I understand that trash accumulating on a front porch is an eyesore. I get that. But I haven't left the same trash here for 5 months at a time. Like a couple weeks, yeah. But the inside is constantly getting renovated, and then they put trash out here, and then they throw it into a dumpster, and it's clear, and then there's more renovations, and there's more trash out here. So it's not the same trash, it's just a cycle of moving stuff out of the house. And is it an eyesore? Yeah, I guess. But it's constant construction. Deal with it. Thank you, neighbor. Oh, somebody. I wonder if that's a neighbor that doesn't like me. Oh. All right, so this is one of them. The trash in the front. And like I said, it's just a cycle. Who cares? The other thing, which is kind of petty, is that I'm missing siding on the side of my house. And there's 2 strips on the other side that we had to remove so then we could, you know, jack up the entire house and put it on stilts and get the front porch settled. Why is this an issue? Just let me continue with the renovations. It's on the side of the house. You can't even see it. I was trying to be cool and I underestimated the weight of that front window. Pretty sure I got it on the slow-mo, and I'm going to play it on repeat over and over again because that window that I tossed, and not hard enough, hit the side of the dump trailer and just 50-50 nose slid down and just crashed. Glass all over my lawn now that I have to go pick up because I just couldn't be strong and smart. I couldn't be smart, I had to be strong. That'll teach me. I can see clearly now, the windows aren't shit. I put new things, now I can see all the way down the street. So, in case you're unaware, I got new windows! Look at that! Look at these windows. They're not shitty. They're locked. No, they're not. I'm weak. There we go. That's what happens when you're not used to new things in the crack house. Look at that, they got screens on them. Everybody likes a good screen. Let that fresh air in. Oh God, it's slowly coming together. Slowly coming together. You haven't even started the plumbing yet, Richard. Don't get too hard ahead of yourself. But look at all the fucking trash that's left over from, about 16 windows. So, yeah, not bad, not bad. And for those of you who don't know what these old school windows are, you know, lived in new high-rises and are super fancy. These are old school counterweight windows. Now, a counterweight window is just that. It has massive lead weights that are, well, let's see, that are hidden here in this gap next to the window. And what they do is they're attached to a rope, beep, 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 which is attached to your window that slides, and then it acts as a counterweight. So you can raise your windows up easily because they're heavy-ass, thick panes of glass. Now, unfortunately, what would happen in some homes that I might have remodeled is that you would just cut them if you didn't have the walls open like they are right now. Is you would cut them, and then they would just kind of fall in this gap and just be there for forever. And then you take the window out and then replace it with a replacement window. But because we have all the walls gutted, we were able to take out all the counterweights, and there's some on the floor. They look like giant mouse turds. And there's the windows that we replaced. And there's a big old pile of shit that is gonna have to get thrown out because that's what happens when you open boxes and remove crappy old single pane counterweight windows. Old school, baby, old school. And I know they're windows, but they just make me feel so good. Because now the house is kind of, well, it is sealed up. It doesn't have any insulation in it yet. This was the window that said, haha, I need a new window. Well, guess what, you fucking piece of shit? I got a new one. I got almost 24 new ones. And I was going to replace them anyway because they were horrible, counterweight, single-pane pieces of shit, just like your personality. And I can't wait to see you in prison, because I'm sure that's exactly where you're going to end up. Oh, and here we go, through the walls. New windows here. New windows here. Where else are there new windows? I don't fucking know yet. How about I go down the stairs? Is there one there? You bet! Are there any more new windows on the first floor? Hey, there could be. Oh wait, there's 3! My whole life is a depressing musical. So here's the bad thing. Well, not a bad thing. You've already seen that the beams are up, which is great. Now this is more spacious and I'm freaking digging it. A small issue with, firing the old contractor is now I have the old supports that are temporary supports that I really don't need. And I have 2, it's like 4 6-inch I-beams that I don't know what to do with, that I spent several hundreds of dollars on. Like a total of like 800. And I'm not going to scrap it for like 50 bucks. How the hell do you get rid of I-beams? Who buys I-beams? I bought I-beams. I bought I-beams. But that's because I thought my contractor was going to do the right thing, not make me buy I-beams for no reason. Any scrappers want some free aluminum? Aluminium? Is that what the Brits say? Oh, whatever. One of the complaints, on top of the other numerous ones, was that something was going on with the gutters. And it does look like my gutters are overflowing. I don't know what's wrong, so I'm going to climb on the roof and hopefully not die as I try to clear out the gutters a little bit. God have mercy on myself. Now, I've had to set the camera down so that I can talk to you and use both of my hands, because this part of the story is frustrating. Now, I believe that this neighbor or neighbors is intentionally using the city employee, the city home inspector, to harass me. They don't like the Crackhouse, they don't like that I'm filming it, maybe they don't like me personally, and in order to hassle me or try to get me to bend to their will, whatever they want me to do, probably stop making these videos, they're going to use the city employee to set fines on me and make a complaint every other day on frivolous things like the grass being too tall when it's not, or that there's a piece of siding missing from the side of the house, which is an infraction for like an unsided home. Obviously, if the whole entire home is unsided, the city inspector's going to be like, hey, that's not safe. But if you're missing one strip, you have to come after me and find me to fix it. Just send me a text message. But either way, months ago, I received a DM on Instagram, and it was from someone that was upset about me filming the Crackhouse. And after our conversation, I thought that it was over. I thought that it was solved. But after all of these calls, pretty much beginning since that direct message and the correspondence that we had with one another, well, I just assume that courtesy is now gone out the window. So I'm going to read this person's DMs to me verbatim, and I'll probably put them up right next to me. Now, I have completely blocked out this person's name because I'm not a dickhead, but I am going to read what they said. Hey, Richard, I'm a Buffalo firefighter and had a few questions for you. I respond, hurry up. I am a drill sergeant after all. You might stop posting about the Crackhouse on this street. My parents live next door and it's kind of upsetting. You got it with a tax lien and the kid who lived there was pissed about it because his dad just died and his mom couldn't afford it, so he trashed the place. Just asking nicely. I know you're trying to fix it up and it's greatly appreciated, but have some class. You're how old and have been successful with the videos, but you don't need to take it that far, man. I respond, I don't understand your reasoning. It's a video series about renovating a house. I don't put the neighbors in them, let alone their home addresses. I don't understand what you mean by have some class. I'm fixing up a home that was literally falling in on itself. I plan on continuing filming the renovation of the home. Did you happen to watch the first episode I put up of the house? I think you should watch it and see what I've been dealing with. He responds, I've seen bits and pieces, and it's just very disrespectful. I mean, a family lived there at one point, is what I'm trying to get at. I think you could do better. Let me break this down for you. If your parents live next door to me, and they're upset with it, everybody has my phone number and they can message me. I don't care that I bought this house with a tax lien. I think I said that right away in the first video. This place was up for auction, and so I bought it because it had overdue taxes. What confuses me is then that a fireman would reason as to the intentional destruction of a home just because of an unfortunate circumstance and then a more unfortunate financial position. You know they got the money for the house. The city just doesn't take the money after you bid on a home for a tax lien. You go to the city and say, hey, that was my house that was sold. I would like the money. And then you get paid. What you don't do is intentionally water damage and destroy shit. That's like saying, you know what? I ran out of money to pay for my car, so I set it on fire. That's fucking shitty. And for you to say, oh, I mean, it's okay for that to happen. No, it's not. Show some class. Class like intentionally damaging the home that somebody else bought because I can't afford it anymore? Or class like I'm fixing up something that somebody intentionally destroyed. A home that was literally falling apart next door to your parents' house. Literally when I bought this place, there was a tarp over at the corner of the home where 10 foot of wall fell in. Oh, watch the first video. Why wasn't anybody upset about that? Why wasn't the city inspector called about that? Oh, but there's some siding missing on this little portion on the side of the house. That is upsetting. But not the entire home crumbling in its foundation and possibly, just falling and collapsing on your neighbor's homes, which would have been your parents. Oh, but that's not an issue. No. That's not classy. What I'm doing isn't classy by trying to refurbish a home that's been completely and utterly forgotten and beaten down and intentionally destroyed. But hey, it's okay to intentionally destroy things. I've seen bits and pieces, and it's just very disrespectful. What is disrespectful? The fact that these people intentionally damaged the home, that's disrespectful. The fact that after months and months of me trying to get a hold of them, that they never got a hold of me until after I started moving all this trash out. If me making tongue-in-cheek jokes about the horrible, dilapidated state and disrespect that family had for this home is disrespectful, I don't care. I don't care. I just think you could do better. I don't care what you think. And who are you to tell me what I can do for videos? The fucking balls. So, here's the rub. If there's an infraction of a city ordinance, any neighbor can call and make a complaint to the city. That's what they're there for. Now, some might find it rude, underhanded, and snake-like to call over a dozen times just to try and hem the person up. But if there's an infraction, there's an infraction, and that's completely legal. Now, let me tell you what else is legal. I can film in public. I can film in the Crackhouse. I own it. It's my private property. But I can also walk up and down the street in the sidewalks and film the entire neighborhood if I wanted to. That's completely legal. If there's no reasonable expectation of privacy, New York State says, hey, I can film. I don't even need second-party consent. If you're out in public walking around, I can walk behind you and just record and have a conversation with the back of your head or the front of your face or a bunch of people that are just coming out of an Arby's. I could live stream in front of my neighbors' homes who are making complaints about me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok for hours at a time, just walking up and down the street singing John Jacob Jingleheimer fucking Schmidt. There are lots of things that anybody can do to anybody that are completely legal, but that doesn't mean that it's nice. So, dear neighbor, I'm sure you have my phone number. I'm trying so hard to fix this home. let's be nice. Let's be nice. Shoot me a text if you don't like some stuff that's going on, but please bear with me. I've spent over $40,000 this year and a bunch of time on this house. Just this year. To get it to this. Shit, watch the videos. This has not been easy. And you're not making it any easier. That is my olive branch to you. I hope you accept it.
Hey, it's me again. Once again, coming to you in the shitty snowy weather that is Buffalo. Asking that if you've been enjoying this Crackhouse content, why don't you support the channel? Subscribe or buy a This Old Crackhouse t-shirt. Or a Basement Jesus t-shirt, because he is the Lord and Savior of the Crackhouse. Anything would help. And because it is the holiday season, and with all these possible fines coming in my future thanks to my neighbors, I am going to make the entire Angry Cops website 15% off if you use the code KNIFEHAND. So, Merry Christmas and happy fine paying. I'm going to get out of the rain now.